Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel. This is Love to Travel with Wave. Good morning, Shawnee. How are you? House of X, good morning. You know, I I promise we're gonna start on a new page when I'm greeting you guys, okay? Last night, hey, I just saw it, Shawnee Party of One. Good morning, Shawnee Party of One. Yeah, I gotta get on my game, man. Yes, interesting things are happening to me. Hope everyone had a great evening, and thank you everyone who came on the live yesterday afternoon. It was my first time jumping on the live after work. Most times I'm at boot camp and everything like that. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So this morning, Shani, if you'd like, you can join me too if you're not busy at work yet, you know. So this morning I was kind of like, browsing a bit, and I was looking at this article that, was on the BuzzFeed, yes, on my Microsoft tablet. And one of the articles that I came across, it says, we recently wrote up the unwritten rules people of color follow that most white people don't have to worry about. So I just want to see, what this article was about. And it's talking about, well, there are so many submissions from Black readers that we decided to do a whole post specifically on the Black community. So here are some 21 unwritten rules that Black people follow every day. Right? So I think, we're just going to every day kind of look at these topics and kind of see, are some of us out there really truly doing this? And also I'm going to put it on our community tab. You guys can voice your opinion about it. I think on our community tab, the first one that they were discussing, right, that I think that we already have done this on our community tab. Okay, great, Shawnee. um it's actually saying, no matter, this is the first one, one of the unwritten rules that Black people follow every day in their daily lives. I just want to know if it's one of the rules that you guys follow. Maybe we do one or two every day. It says, no matter how angry you get, you try and remain calm. Hmm. If you raise your voice even a little, regardless of what you say or how you say it, you're instantly labeled an angry Black woman and judged wrongly, even when you're right. So someone responded to it and they said, as a Black woman, it is frustrating to see that Black women are seen as angry, aggressive, competitive, and or difficult when disagreeing about something, while my white peers are seen as passionate, okay, energetic, and spirited debaters. It is disappointing, unfair, and can have a serious impact on one's career. Do you guys agree? Please drop your comment. Please tell me what you think, because this is an article that was written on BuzzFeed. Let me take a screenshot of that because I'm going between my phone here and being here on StreamYard. So I am going to, I'm just, I'm trying to get this thing together where, one day I can probably be on StreamYard and doing these things. Hey, James Money, how you doing? Greetings. Yo, it's your boy Leo. What's up? Yes, I'm doing good. Thank you for joining me here today. D3DZV Network, it's called. Please tell me if I'm saying it right. D33. I'm just going to call you D33. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. So our discussion, actually, it's there's an article that is kind of, the article is is was recently written at the BuzzFeed. Usually, when you have your tablet or your phone, you have these news agencies, and they have like articles that come on, and I kind of like said, let me find out what's the buzz on this. So they're saying that there are actually unwritten rules of people of color follow that most white people don't have to worry about. And one of them, actually, the number one, the one that they started off with is that it it's talking about how other people outside our race kind of judge us by saying that we seem very, especially the black woman, they think that we are angry. um you guys can drop a comment, tell me how you feel about that. I think we had a discussion about that. um, I think we had a poll where we voted, and that people think that the black woman angry syndrome, it does exist. So let me see if I can find that poll and see what you guys said. But apparently it's on the list here. And one person had a comment, and they said that they feel it's very unfair that when their counterparts, white women, they think that when they're not angry, that they're debating. And when black women, they perceive black women when they speak that they are angry. Do you guys think so? Are they angry? Because I know I'm not angry. I know I'm just passionate about what I'm saying. Or maybe it's a discussion, it's maybe something personal that happened to me, and it may bring up a lot of emotions, yes, but I'm not angry. Is I could understand if you talk about someone's tone of voice, but I don't see where their aggression is. It could be someone is just fed up of the same thing over and over again. Sometimes you just have to get to know people and kind of understand what's going on with them. But I just found this article to be very, very interesting, and I'm going to actually put it on our community tab so you guys can take a look at it at, as well. Also, we want to say good morning to the J Jordan. He's one of our new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. And we also had a poll: do some parents live out their dreams through their children? 96% of you guys said yes. Oh, wow. That is alarming. Yeah. So, parents, you need to go and find your own dreams. I don't mean to be mean, but please go and find your own dreams and your own passion, and stop making your children feel like they have to live out your dreams, okay? So, we need to do better at that. And only 4% of people said no after we took, you know, and when we took that poll, that no, their children do not live, are carrying on their dreams. And that's out of 26 people. Yeah, so we have to do better as parents, uh, obviously, yes. Tonight I'm gonna be doing boot camp. I'm gonna go live because last night my coach canceled. um okay, so Shawnee says, Shawnee, party of one. Shawnee, party of one. I love saying that. I think that is like the coolest name. I was labeled as abrasive by WYT colleague because of what she thought. No, I'm assertive. Yes. So a lot of times people have misconceptions about people until you get to know people, because you can meet someone and they have that very aggressive tone and everything. And when you start um, talking to them, and you start relating with them, you'll find out that that person is actually so cool. They can give you their heart. They can do anything for you. They're very caring and everything like that. Sometimes it's the way people are, they grew up, their experiences. You don't know what they had to go through. So it's very hard for them to, like, warm up to people. So they have their guards up because they don't want anyone to hurt them in any way. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have to be very careful. And for me, for an article like this, hey, good morning, good vibes. How are you? Had a very good time on your channel, just reminiscing back in those days. And as I was saying, like, for them to write an article about unwritten rules, okay, that Black people have to follow or do just to make it in this community, in this city, or wherever they are, that's disturbing. That means you cannot even be yourself. So it's like almost like you're in a box. So, I have to say it this way, or I have to be this way so that, I don't draw attention to me, or anything like that, because they're going to think that I'm aggressive. I'm the angry Black woman, or the Black man. He just has to show up as a Black man and he's targeted. He can't drive in certain neighborhoods. He can't drive a certain car. He can't wear a certain, something, or he can't shop in a certain store or anything, you know, yeah, so here is D33. Not that it's always true. However, my Black women are known of being aggressive and confrontational. While I disagree that white women are the opposite in that stereotype, it depends on the woman. Excellent comment. Yes. So I think that sometimes we have to take people as individuals, because even in the work environment that I work in, I constantly, I don't care if you're Hispanic, I don't care if you're white, you're Black. I just think that it depends on the person. It's true. You have to get to know people. And I have had white women go crazy. I mean, just simply crazy. And it's not about, like, like a major problem. They just flip. And it's just like, and I'm like, what the hell just happened here? You know what I'm saying? So I want our Black sisters, or our men in our community, to think it's not us only. People are flipping all over the place, okay? So when I saw this article, I was like, wow, we really need to talk about this, because there are people in our community living in a bubble because they don't want to step on each other's toes and everything like that, or they don't want to say the wrong thing because you're going to be labeled as being aggressive, or you're going to be, yeah. I will admit, as D33 says, like I said, I work in an environment where I see, um, yeah, good vibes, because I know I can be very passionate, especially, certain things. I can be very passionate, yes. But I do see a lot of times in the environment that I work in, there are a couple of sisters. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for anyone. We also have to look at our problems in our faces and look at ourselves each and every day and see that, and I'm sure that we feel it, but some of us are struggling on how can we change it. You know what I'm saying? That's something you have to do personally. But I see it like sometimes I'm sitting there and like, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's just this aggression. And I'm like, okay, so then the thing is, I don't want to feed off of your aggression. So what I do is I calmly just sit down and just listen. So eventually he or she warms up to me, because they see I'm not showing the same aggression towards them, because it could be something that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So eventually the person warms up. I'm like, wow, this person is cool, you know? But maybe they just have their guards up because people have always judged them, or maybe think about them the wrong way. Now, let me tell you another example. I've had Caucasian women, and, out in the streets, people call them Karens and stuff like that. And let me tell you, there is nothing you can tell them at that moment. I don't care how nice you are or whatever. This is just my experience. They go crazy here all over the place. They call you all kind of names. They go crazy, crazy, crazy. And I'm just there. I walk away and I'm like, wow, what just transpired? I'm serious. You know, there is nothing you can tell them. And I'm not judging anyone. I've come across some wonderful Caucasian women, very polite, very nice, very business oriented, you know, and everything like that. But I have lately, I've been getting a lot of that. And, we have to kind of, when I see articles like that, yes, there are a few of us out there. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've got in that profession that I'm in. Yes, absolutely. It has happened. So sometimes we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and we kind of like have to say, what part, did you play in a certain situation and, try to correct it. Try to correct it. It's not going to come overnight because this is something that you've been doing all your life. So it's not going to go up, but at least recognize it, you know, look at it and recognize it. Yes. So this article, I mean, I was like, oh, wow. Also, let me see what else they're saying in this article beside that. The second one was my mother taught me to always ask for a bag and a receipt, no matter how small the purchase, or you can be accused of stealing. Wow. Yeah. I don't know if you ever like went to maybe a store and you just had that one person just following you in the store. Every minute you look, you're well dressed, you know, you come in, you have your money in your bag, you got your credit cards, and you walk into a store and people are just following you. And then eventually, you just feel uncomfortable. I'm the kind of person, if I go into a store and you're following me and so forth, I am not, absolutely not going to come back to that store. I'm not purchasing anything. No. Yeah, good vibes. Thanks. I always enjoy your channel as well. And that's a beautiful, pleasant voice. Thank you. Yeah, like you go in a store, you come to shop and everything. I remember going, I won't say the store, in New York, actually, and the minute we got there, I mean, we were followed to the third floor and everything. And I actually wanted to get some stuff, but because of the actions of the salesperson, hi, good morning, Sheed. How are you? Um, because of their actions, I really didn't want to. I didn't want to shop there. And honestly, I have not shopped there in over 20 years. Yes. And they do have stores here in Florida. I refuse to go into that store because of the fact that, that this person was just watching us. And I had my money in my purse, I had my credit cards ready to shop because I'm in New York. It's the end of summer, lots of bargains, and I'm ready to go. And I'm, I'm visiting the different restaurants. It's carnival time. I'm staying at a beautiful hotel in Manhattan and all that good stuff, Got stuck in the elevator, all that stuff, right? And people, you're spending your hard earned money and people are here watching you. Yes. Yes. So, also, we're just gonna vibe on this article. I just found it interesting. So the third one is As a Black woman in a predominantly white area, I make a point of approaching staff first in stores when I walk in. I ask an innocuous question in a friendly, highly pitched voice, even if I don't need anything. They seem to feel safer around me and do not follow me around when I do first. So I understand that because a lot of times you will go to these high end stores, um, and your voice would change. Yeah, your voice would change. Absolutely. Your voice would change. You'll be like, "Hi, how are you? I'm just here to just have, I'm here shopping and I'm looking for this and that." So it's almost like you just don't want anyone to yes, um you just don't want anyone to actually, bring attention, to yourself in a sense. You don't want to bring exactly. I'm reading this article and I find it's like, Shawnee, I just find that why do we have to go through all of this? I understand what the article and the people that are following these rules are doing, but to me, you're just kind of living in a bubble. It's like you're not being yourself, you're not free to do anything. Yes. Shawnee Party of One says, I've honestly never had a bad experience, just people with bad attitudes, but never. Well, that's great. Never had someone make me change my ways. Well, sometimes people, yeah, you will go certain places and people will say, well, you need to conduct yourself a certain way, you know, which is, kind of true because, if you go in a five-star restaurant, you still should be yourself, but, you should conduct yourself like a gentleman, a lady, of course. And it's not only when you go to these places, I think you should always conduct yourself as a lady, as a gentleman, and that doesn't mean that because you're a gentleman or a lady, you're not going to be, there are certain things you're going to agree all the time upon. You know what I'm saying? People are human beings. They're going to get upset, they're going to be angry or whatever. Any human being, honestly. But I just think that, when I saw this article, I'm like, wow, is this really going on? And the fourth one was, as a Black woman, I usually keep my college jacket in the car. That is ridiculous. If I have to go to the emergency room, I will receive better treatment if doctors see that I have a higher education. Like, who wrote this article? This is crazy. You know me, as in personality wise, I think I do pretty well with making people feel comfortable. Again, just some people have bad attitudes. Yeah, but I didn't. That fourth thing did not sit well with me. That fourth rule, it didn't sit well with me. Why would you carry your your college jacket with you everywhere you go, um, and take it to an emergency room? Um, you would think that doctors would not be biased or think in any way to treat a patient, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian. You are saving a human being's life. Or is that person just looking for, better treatment, or, yeah, I don't, that is just terrible. I just think that is crazy. It is crazy. I would not, yeah. And number five says, I am from Louisiana where they still have sundown towns. Avoid them at all costs. But if you have to pass through at night, and it's in capital letters, it says, make sure you have a full tank of gas so you don't have to stop. So someone said, when road tripping, every black person knows not to stop in a rural area for gas or a pee break if you can help it, especially at night. I know someone whose child actually peed their pants because the area they were driving through was a sundown town and they weren't going to risk it. Wow. Wow. Is this really going on in America? I actually went to, there was a town, I actually went to Covington, Kentucky, and I was staying across the Ohio River. From, Cincinnati, Ohio. And let me tell you, it was the most creepiest thing, okay, I had ever experienced because a friend of mine, I went to visit a friend of mine, but they were out of town. So I had to call another friend of mine in Ohio to drive to come see me, because I was not very comfortable in that town. I mean, I went to the restaurant, everyone was looking at you. Um, there were a couple of, Caucasian guys, and I was heading to my hotel, and I felt like they were following me because from the restaurant. Let me tell you, I ran to that that hotel room and I locked it. Okay, and I was ill. I actually was ill during that weekend. So I tell people be careful, when you're on those roads, especially at night. I was actually driving to Orlando and I would not stop. Honestly, I would not stop. And the reason also, there's another thing, like, I know Swoop, she's a truck driver, but let me tell you, at night, some of those truck drivers can traumatize you. Okay, on the road, they'll run you off. I'm being dead serious about that. I think she also said he was a truck driver, and I'm telling you, they will run you off the road. Yes. So sometimes, when you're driving at night and all these trucks and everything, you can get terrified. I'm sorry to say that, but you can. Yeah. So you have to be very, very careful. I think there is also a town like just before you get to Orlando in that area. I think they say that like it's the home of the Ku Klux Klan. You don't want to drive there at night. I remember one time after work, I was driving to Orlando, and trust me, I filled my gas tank up, and because I already knew about it, so I didn't want to run out of gas. So I can relate a little bit about that. It's absolutely right because you don't know what's happening in these rural parts of America. Yeah. Let me see what Shawnee's saying. Some of these black women are obviously raised by other traumatized women. Yes, it's a cycle. You know, a lot of us have a lot of healing to do. Um, you know, that's one thing. I do not exclude myself from, when it comes to our problems because we all have been traumatized in some kind of way. I don't care even though you're from the Caribbean, Africa, wherever you're from in our community, we have a lot of healing to do. Yes. Because these things are instilled in people. This isn't just overnight thinking. Okay, that one I can understand. Sundown town. I wouldn't stop in any rural area. Exactly. I'm telling you, it's the most frightening thing. Okay. Even when they did the movie Get Out, I'm like, bro, you know. And the other day, was it up in your state of Pennsylvania when the Jamaican guy got killed in the woods by some Caucasian guys, which he worked with, and he thought they were real cool. They were friends, and they allegedly they're saying that he was killed by these guys, and I don't know what's going on with the case, but it's unfortunate that these things are still happening in our community. Number six, they say, I'm a black woman, relatively new to my mostly white neighborhood. When I take a walk for exercise, I always walk in the middle of the street. Like, come on, girl, not too close to houses on either side. I wear reflective gear and avoid staring too closely at any one of the houses. I often think of Ahmad Abari while I'm walking. Wow. When I read these things, I feel like, like, are we like, good morning, Synovia? How are you this morning? I just think that it's like almost like you're living in a bubble, like in a box. It's like you can't move, you can't do it. To me, it's that is not living. I mean, I mean, in my neighborhood, I go for a walk. I don't walk in the middle of the street. I actually walk on the sidewalk. And I have every right to walk on the sidewalk. And as long as I'm not on your property, I'm not damaging your property, I'm not entering your property, anything. I should be allowed to, hey, I should be allowed to walk where I want to walk. And I understand what she's doing. She's taking precautions, because she doesn't want anything to escalate. But that's a sad life that we have to be so cautious in everything that we do, and other people can freely walk wherever they want, they can do what they want, but we have to be so cautious. You know, that is, oh wow, that is crazy. Yeah. So also there was a comment. I'm a 50-year-old black man who lives in a 98% white neighborhood. I do not go for walks alone ever. I do not trust the level of suspicion that white residents would have regarding my presence. For example, when kids of color visit our neighborhood to do door to door sales, someone usually posts their presence in our neighborhood and association Facebook page. So at least I make sure I'm walking my dog, or better yet, walking with my spouse. Oh my goodness. Wow. I remember like it was 1986 when I went to New York and I was staying in Jamaica, Queens. I stayed in a Jewish neighborhood. I stayed with Jewish family because they owned their home in the US Virgin Islands. So they were really good friends with us. And let me tell you, in the Caribbean, I never experienced those things. I think Shawnee can tell you that. I didn't experience those things. And then she can vouch for that because in the Caribbean we don't have white neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, and all that. I'm sorry to say that, but we don't. So coming to America, I was very shocked when I saw that, you know. And when I was in Jamaica, Queens, I remember it was me and my friend, and at that time she had a boyfriend from New York. And we were on the patio, just relaxing. We were having something to drink and everything like that. And next thing we knew, the neighbor across the street, who was Jewish and was like a doctor, called the lady at the house and say, "Oh, you need to call the police because there are some black people on your porch." And she was like, "No, they are our guests. They're staying with us." You know what I'm saying? That was the first time I kind of experienced that, along also being in Chicago when I was on a bus and this little Caucasian white old lady pulled her purse. And I was like, wow, I only see this in the movies. So I could understand that. Yeah, what he's talking about because, but I mean, why are you going to be paying mortgage in a place that you feel quote unquote is safe, but yet it's not safe? That's just my take on it. I am not going to buy a home where I cannot live, because your house is where, it's your domain. It's where you should be able to be free and do what you want to do. Number seven was, I was taught to be an overachiever because no one expects a black woman or a black man. I see where they're just concentrating more on the black woman, And I'm not seeing anything about the black man, but I think this also applies to black people in general, black men and women, to be smart and well spoken. I'm not expected to have a voice in anything, and many are shocked when I do. They are stunned when I have verbalized my thoughts and opinions in multiple syllable words. Melanin and ovaries do not cancel out intelligence and reason. So this is where it good morning. Um this is where, like I experienced that. Like sometimes, have you ever applied for a job and they have not seen you, and then you're like, okay, you have an appointment for 2 p.m. for your interview, and you show up at your interview and you're like, hi, I have an appointment, and they're looking at you. This actually happened to me years ago, and it's like they did not expect you to be colored at all. you know they are, because my name, it's not masculine or feminine. It's just, just a unique name. And most people can't tell, if I'm black or Caucasian or whatever when they see my name. Because some people, they have a way of, they like, if your name is a certain name, they identify you like that. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so much nonsense. Yeah, so when you get there, it's like, oh, you're Miss Charles. And I'm like, yes. You know, it's like almost they are stunned that you're Miss Charles. Yes. So it's like, and also the like voice recognition, they when you're speaking on the phone, they're looking, fishing for certain words you say, how you say things, to identify who you are, what color you are, different things. These things are actually happening in these times that we live in. Zenobia says, I know my constitutional rights, so I'm always ready. Of course. And I tell people all the time, you need to know your constitutional rights. And not only that, when you're in the workplace, you need to know what their policies are. That can save you so many times. Yeah. So the other one is, as a black man, wow, I was just saying that. I want to know what's going on. As a black man, my father taught me, when being pulled over by the police, to pull your insurance and registration out of the glove box and keep it ready on your seat. That way, you do not have to reach in the glove box when the police are at your window. After teaching my son how to drive and after they got their license, I then had to teach them how to handle police if they get pulled over, and so they are not deemed a threat and make it home alive. That is something. Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning, Shawnee. Oh yes, I should have said Shawnee, party of one. Yes.
Good morning. I was like, is she not planning to let me in?
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I was just reading like my
No,
little article there. Yeah, so the driving thing, I will say, I do not pull out my registration and stuff. You know, when he approaches, I'm very, very professional. I
you
don't.
talking about a cop pulling you over?
Yeah, I don't really get agitated or anything. If they say, "Can I have your driver's license or whatever?" I said, "It's in my glove compartment. Is it okay if I go in there?" And once they say yes, I go on over and I take it out. I don't want nobody.
For
I
that.
don't want nobody saying that she reached out and we thought I felt threatened. You know what I'm saying?
Can I
So
just add to that?
yeah.
I think a lot of the times, um, We no, because I think I have an unpopular opinion. I think that a lot of times some of us are very mouthy, and you're supposed to respect the law, right? And I think a lot of times if somebody is pulled over, the first thing they want to do is, what did you pull me over for? It, Eventually the cop will tell you why he pulled you over. Relax. um
Mm.
I think they're very some of us are very mouthy sometimes. And what did you pull me over for? Why did you stop me? Why do you need to see my registration? Stuff like that. I'm like you, Wave. If I ever got pulled over, I'll say, um, and again, I've I've had great experiences with like people of law. Like, I'm not a rude person, so like I'll be like, is it okay? It's in my glove box. Is it okay if I reach for it? And they'll say, go ahead. They don't feel I'm a threat. I don't feel they're a threat. And I give them what they want, move on. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of us sometimes are very like, what did you pull me over for? Why did you stop me? I didn't do
Listen,
nothing.
let me tell you, when I first got my driver's license, I used to work in Davie, right? At the
Yeah.
radio station. So I'm driving one morning on Hollywood Boulevard, and there's a UPS truck in front of me. So he goes, the light is green, but when I got in the middle of the road, the light turned yellow, and I was like, so I went across. I can't stay in the middle of the road. So the Broward sheriff comes behind me, woo, woo, woo. So I'm like, oh, Lord. I've never gotten a ticket before. So he's like, what are you trying? He was very sarcastic. I'm not going to lie. He was like, what are you, he said, what are you trying to do? Beat the UPS driver? I remained quiet. I did not say anything. So he said, well, I guess you're just going to get a ticket today, ma'am. So I said, okay, sir. But I told him, I said, I'm on my way to work, so you can go ahead, write your ticket. I was very calm. You can go ahead and write that ticket and everything. So then he asked me for my driver's license and everything. I said, everything is in my purse. I said, okay, he said, okay. He wrote his ticket. I went to court. Fought my I fought my court case and I won. And that was it. I ain't had time for nobody. I'm trying to get to work. I ain't got time to argue with you. You,
Synovia,
you
it's
know?
I saw Synovia's comment. Synovia, it's the same with me. And like a
Yeah.
story Wave just said, I was in Jersey one time. Jersey cops are nasty. If you guys don't know them, they're very nasty. Especially the out of state people, they're very nasty. And the officer, she was a female, but you could tell she act like a man. Um, our counterparts. It was a Caucasian person, and she she wanted me to pull over, but there was nowhere for me to pull over. Not
Exactly.
so she gets on her speaker at this point, and she's like, "Pull over now!" So I decided I found a little bit of width on the left side, and she comes up to me and she is nasty, and she must have slapped me with 4 tickets. Wave, y'all hear me? 4 tickets. And
Wow.
one was for endangerment of other people, one was for speeding, one was for endangerment of her life and vehicles, and the list went on and on and on. I
Wow.
even said to her, well, she said, you're supposed to pull on the right side. And I said, well, there was no spot on the right side. Like, I pulled over the next best spot. Well, they teach you that in driving school. And I went to court. I went to court, guys. I went to court. And they read something to me about like destructive something. And I said, no, I don't plead guilty to that. And then he's like, he looked at me, and then this was like the guy before you see the judge. And I said, no, I plead guilty to speeding, but I don't plead guilty to that. He's like, you only have 1 ticket. And I said, no, there's 4. He threw all of them out, and he was like, have a good day. He was like, I don't see you. I've never seen you in here. He said, have a good day. Enjoy
Yeah,
your day.
because he knows exactly what her motive was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're just agitating whatever is going on. And sometimes we feed into that. And that is why when a cop stops
And
me,
that's why I said some of them are mouthy.
I am cool as a cucumber because I know I have my day in court. And like Synovia says, unfortunately, female cops can be hard on other females. Even at the workplace, I find females are hard on each other anywhere you are. They are hard. I don't know what they're trying to prove. Just be yourself, do your job, you know, the way it's supposed to be done, you know? I don't know. It's like maybe I don't know. They're trying to prove something. They're competing with the males. You know what I'm saying? I
I'm
don't know
telling
what's
you,
going
I've
on.
had, I've, and I've had other cops pull me over, you know, and I know that we're staying on this topic for a long time, but I've had other situations where I've been pulled over and they're
Yeah.
super nice. I've only had that encounter with that one nasty cop. And even then, I wasn't rude to her because I saw that she had a chip on her shoulder. I wasn't rude to
Hmm.
her. She was being rude and being disrespectful. I know she wanted a reaction out of me because she looked like she was one of those people that, would do something to you. But no, I've never. Listen, if I see a cop, I'll hold the door. As any regular person, not because he's a cop. If I, you know, am in a store around a cop, I don't get nervous. People can see when your demeanor changes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
I just, I'm just myself.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
myself.
because I feel like okay, if you got your registration, your stuff is straight, why are you nervous? You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing anything, just remain calm. I know sometimes people can be very, very disrespectful. I remember I got stopped by actually a black male cop, and he was very nice. I was actually speeding. And then he says, "Look here, I've been following you since a couple blocks away. You've been speeding." I said, "Yes, sir, I have." He said, "But I don't want anything to happen to your pretty self." He told me that. He said, "I want you to get to wherever you're going. I know you said you're going to a meeting, but I want you to get there in one piece so that you don't hurt yourself or anyone else." You know? And that was it. He didn't give me a ticket. He just said, "I'm just warning you," you know?
I
Then,
love the brothers that look out for us.
yeah. And then another time I was coming down I-95 in Hollywood here in South Florida. And let me tell you, sometimes we have to be careful, like, when we meet people, how we treat people. I'm going to tell you this. So I'm here driving and I forgot, like, it was, how your tag expires on your birthday. So it was the month of October. I'm supposed to change my tag, my sticker. So then I'm driving, and then this cop, this trooper comes behind me, and he comes very aggressive. I'm not lying. He comes aggressive, and he's like, "What are you doing? You don't have your sticker," and this and that. And I'm looking at him, and I'm just smiling, right? So I let him talk, and I was like, "You don't remember me, do you?" And he's like, "Hmm." So I'm like, "Yeah, I remember you used to work at Dillard's, and I used to work in the accessories department." And he's like, "Oh my God, Wade." He remembered me, remembered good things, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you," he gave me this little warning thing, like this note light. So he says, "If anyone stops you while you're going to DMV or the tag place, just give that to them because they will see where I talked to you about it and you weren't, you had forgot, it slipped your mind or whatever." Good morning, Joy. How are you? Welcome in. Also, Steve Gilmore, welcome in. Yeah, so sometimes it's good to create relationships with people, in different professions because, they can actually vouch for you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you'll be surprised you're stuck in certain situations, and these same people can, so um, Shawnee is right. Like we have, when it comes to that, we have to kind of like change the way our approach, when we're stopped by cops. Yes. But then sometimes, Shawnee, there are some cops, if they out to get you, they out to get you. No matter what you do, you could be as polite as ever. They're gonna get you, my dear. Okay? They're gonna
Sorry, I was
create
blowing my nose,
something.
but
Yeah.
that's true, Wave. And again, you don't let someone else define who you are. You
Yes.
don't let someone else because they're out to get you. That New Jersey cop, I just told you a story where the New Jersey cop was out to get me, and I
Yes.
didn't let her get what she wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't feed into her negativity, her bad
Okay.
attitude. I what?
Yeah. So say for instance, right? You did all those things. You did all the right things, but she still pulled you out of the car and she tried to arrest you. My thing is to remain calm. You haven't done anything. If she
But
wants
I
to
am
arrest
gonna
you,
remain calm. I'm not
yeah,
gonna get off of me.
but
What you doing? I'm not doing
yeah,
that.
but we all have different reactions. You know, I may remain calm. You might remain calm because you know that, hey, at the end of the day, right? You're going to get your attorney, you're going to get your day in court or whatever. But there are some people, they probably never been arrested for anything. Um, they've heard some horrible things about being in jail or whatever, or being arrested. So some people get anxiety attacks. You don't know, so that's,
That's why we're talking about it now to kind
yeah.
of just bring awareness.
Yeah, so
Um,
I think that there has to be a lot of training in the police department and how to handle different individuals, that it doesn't get to that point. You know what
and
I'm saying?
again, you got to talk to your brothers and sisters. You got
Yeah,
to
and
let
we
them know,
yeah,
certain what flies for somebody else ain't gonna fly for you. So,
yeah.
um, it just really depends. I had a situation, state trooper, because they be out to get people. Black guy, like you said, Wave, and I was speeding, like 20 miles over speed limit or something. And he said to me, he saw I was a black young girl. He saw my niece in the car, and he said, "Ma'am, you were speeding." He said, "Is there a reason why you were going so fast?" And I just looked at him, Wave, and I just said, "No." And like that's all I said. I said I don't have no excuse. And then,
So,
huh?
go ahead.
Then he took my information and he came back to the car and he said, "Let me tell you something." He said, "I respect you and I respect your honesty, and you're a young girl." He said, "I'm not going to give you anything. I just want you to slow down, and get to where you're going safe." Good morning, SA. So yeah,
I
that's what.
say good morning. I got your message. Yeah, so I saw something that Sonovia talked about, the Miranda rights, which, I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of it. So I think it's very important to know. It says Miranda rights are the rights given to people in the United States upon arrest. Anyone who has watched a US detective show or two can rattle off the words. You have the right to remain silent.
Mhm.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That,
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't know it was called the Miranda rights, but
Yeah.
thank you, Synovia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now you know that you have that right to remain silent. And trust me,
A lot of people are mouthy, guys, and I know you were going
and
through the
and
list.
and trust me,
Hmm.
I love to remain silent.
It's true, like guys, I'm telling you, like just we have two ears to listen, one mouth to speak. There's a reason why we have two ears and one mouth,
Yes.
And again, I think that some people are just be looking, they be asking for some, like they be asking for a bad time or argument. Again, I think I have very unpopular opinions. Um, I've seen cops. There was a video of a guy really quickly who was pulled over by a cop. They told him, "Can you step out of the vehicle?" He was paraplegic. He told them no. He said, "Because I can't." And then they said, um, I will help you. I can help you get out the car. Would you like me to help you get out the car? No, don't touch me. Why do you need to take me out the car? I haven't done anything. Why do you and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like so at this point the police drags him out the car. This was like a long time ago, not too long, but probably like within the last
Yeah,
year.
but the thing, did he tell them that he could not? I know you said he says I can't get out of the car, but did he tell them the reason why?
Yes, he showed them and said he's paraplegic. He said that he cannot get out the car.
But as a police officer, I would not want to drag or take somebody like that out the car, because
Wait,
first of all, you can re-injure the person. You don't know what their medical condition is. I think that that part, I understand that he should not have mouth out. I would have remained silent. But in his medical condition, you don't take, you might also you might add more injury to that person's condition. That part, I will say, that was not
but wait, that
being
wasn't the point that I
sensitive.
was making. That
Mhm.
honestly wasn't even the point I was making. The point that I was making, because I think a
Mhm.
lot of people skipped over it just because he dragged them out the car. That's
Mhm.
not the point though that people should be focusing on. The point was he explained to the officer, and the officer says, I can help you get out the car. He said, I can help you get out the car. If the man had just said yes, I'm sure he would have helped him, like how you would see an older person fall on the ground. You would help them up, or you would help them,
Mhm.
being very gentle and stuff. Like, but you're mouthing off, and I didn't say it was right. That was not what I said. I didn't say what he did was right.
Mhm.
But now this is a person of the law. You just pissed him off. He doesn't care anymore. He doesn't have anything to lose. Um, so
Yeah,
again,
but my thing was, okay, and I understand all of that, because I understand your point, and I don't condone the fact that he's mouthing out. I think he should have remained calm and silent thing, like he indicated his thing. But my whole thing is, when you take him out the car, where are you going to put him? On the floor?
no, he had a wheelchair. So, like
Okay,
again, the
that's
officer
what I'm
said,
thinking.
I
Okay,
can
all
help
right.
you out of the car. He told him he had a wheelchair and all this stuff, and he said, I can help you out. He told him no, and don't touch me, and I'm not getting out this car.
Okay.
Again, like, what do you expect somebody who's the law to do? Like, I didn't say it was right, but what do you expect him to do when you're disobeying the law? You not listening. Like, if he's requesting you as the law to get out of the vehicle, he's saying he would help you. He's offering his assistance. You talk about no, because you're paraplegic. You think that it's gonna work for you. No, blah blah blah. You
But
know,
my whole thing is he arresting him?
I don't remember what it was about. I don't know if he wanted to search the car. I cannot remember exactly what that
Okay.
was.
I'm
But
just trying to get a juice of it,
no, I
because I
know.
mean,
But
yeah, because
this
I'm trying to figure out, if you want to search the car, if you are actually arresting him, um, has he has he read his rights to him? Is he telling
we don't
him
need to know all
what?
these
No,
details.
I'm just saying. Is I'm just saying. Did he tell him why he's stopping him? You know what I'm saying? That, like, when I usually, when police officers come to my car, they'll say, "Ma'am, did you know you were speeding? That's the reason why we're stopping you."
That's
Right then and
usually
there, I know why. If he says, "Okay, can you come out your car?" Of course, I'll come out my car. It doesn't hurt me to come out my car.
if a police officer does not come up to your car and not tell you why he pulled you over. That is the very first things that they do when they come to your car. The issue is, before they even get to the car, some of these people are already mouthing off at them. Why'd you pull me over? Why are you? But he's going to tell you. You
Hmm.
understand? He's going to tell you. Like,
Well, I know for sure my hands are already on the steering wheel. You can see my hands. You ain't even hearing me say nothing. You walk to my car and you tell me, "Hey, ma'am, you were speeding." Okay. And then he continues and whatnot. "I need your registration. I need whatever." I I don't have time, for like the little personal chit chat. Just do your job. I respect you, and that's it. I don't have to get into what you ate today and all this kind of stuff. 'Cause you're gonna give me a ticket regardless. So I'm not like I'm just silent. I don't have nothing to say. Honestly, I don't, because I don't want to trigger any type of bad feelings. I don't want nobody to say that I had an attitude towards them, or they sense any type of attitude and start escalating something that is not there. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So I just give them whatever it is they ask for, if it's the driver's license or whatever. I remember one time I didn't have my registration with me, I think, and he gave me a ticket to go to the court. He said I will only pay like $5, which I did, and I brought my registration and they saw it. So, there are things that can easily just be fixed. We don't have to escalate them to that point. I really feel sorry for that young man. It could have been prevented. The officer, like you said, he will offer, so as long as, he's comfortable on his wheelchair, he's not on a hot pavement or a tar road or stuff like that, then that to me would just be cruel. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And, like I said, I don't know where you guys can find this article. I'm going to try to see if I can post a link. But I'm glad I found this article. um there is another one beside the driving. They say never ever put your hands in your pockets while walking around a store. Huh? If you don't want to give them a reason to follow you around or call the police, your hands need to be visible at all times. This just that don't make sense to me. I could understand when they're stopping you for traffic, like, you want to make sure your hands are visible so they don't think that you have a weapon or anything like that. But shopping, and we're going to do the last one. It's number 10. There is like 11 more. Maybe we can touch it maybe later this weekend or something. It says, as a black man, never get into an elevator with a woman alone. Always wait for the next one.
That I can understand.
Yeah.
I can understand that one because I think people like to paint pictures, a lot of different pictures. Excuse me, on the black
Bless
man.
you.
Thank you. I think a lot of people like to paint a certain picture on the black man, and history, rewrites itself. So we know what used to happen and what can still happen. Um, and again, like Zenobia just said, your attitude plays a very important role. Listen, I'm not exempt from anything, guys, but I'm telling you right now, when I go to these stores, I'm not rude. I don't have a bad attitude. How you see me on live, I'm literally like that in person or better. I don't have a bad attitude. I'm not rude to people. I think that there's just rude people. And I think people hurt people type of thing. Like I think there's just rude people, people who are just going through something. And I think that sometimes they project it on you. Like I've just never had somebody racially profile me in the store. And if they were doing it, I didn't know because I just thought they were just I don't look into those things. Like if somebody's asking me, like for example, I know people who will say, I hate when I get in a store and they ask me, can I help you? What? No, I'm not stealing. Why do they need to help me? What is your problem? That's their job to greet you and say, how are you?
But,
I
but
I
I just not that statement you just made, right? Because I work in retail. And yeah, people will say things like that, but I look at it another way, is that because maybe that is something that is programmed within a lot of people, because other people are perceiving you like that. So after a while, you start thinking like that. You understand? That's how other
start
people
thinking like
perceive
what?
you. Exactly.
No, start thinking like what?
No, like for instance, okay, if I kept telling you, hey, Shawnee, this is how Shawnee is. I'm just saying you may not feed into it, but there are people like that. If I say, oh, Shawnee is a very angry person, right?
Yeah.
And I keep telling you that daily. Maybe I've been telling you, just say mothers. I'll say your mother's been telling you that since you were like a kid. So after a while, you start believing that you are a angry person because it's repetitious. The person tells you that over and over and over again. So what's happening is you will
You're
have
being
someone
conditioned.
to, yeah, exactly. So that means for all these decades that you watch these television shows or whatever, and they've been portraying black men as being people that, human beings that go into places, they rob, they steal, they this, they that. You have to be fearful of the black man and stuff like that. So after a while, the black men start believing that. So
Right.
his first thing is that's his reaction. You understand? And remember, we talked about attaching people's negativity to you. A lot of times we do that. We have to learn how to detach these things. When things are happening around us, we need to detach it. And this is one of the things. If we've been hearing this, his grandparents heard it, his great, 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 and it's been going on. We have to break the cycle. So when he goes to, I'm telling you, you go to, I have gone to restaurants where I'm the only black person there, or me and a friend have gone on a date and we're the only. I went to Tampa one time. We were the only black couples in there. And at first, I was like, I told my friend, I was like, oh my God, I feel so uncomfortable, you know? And he's like, I don't feel uncomfortable. I'm spending my money. And also, I have the right to be wherever I want and do whatever. That showed me that he has freed himself from all of this rhetoric, everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that statement you just made, it's not because of his attitude or anything like that. It's because what he have been told, that when people looking at you and you go somewhere and you're shopping and everything, you're automatically thinking, they think that you're going to steal because
I'm
you're
telling you,
black.
your demeanor changes. They
Yes.
see your body language, how you're move. They
Ye-
see it. So
yes.
people get on guard, like,
No, and sometimes let me tell you something. I work in retail. You'll see a guy come in, he's dressed a certain way and stuff like, and you start talking to the coolest person. They just came to do their business, get their lawnmower to go on and look, mow their lawn, and that's it. But people read into so many things because we are all attached to these whatever perceptions of what a black man should be or a black woman should be or whatever should be. And until we clear our thoughts on all these nonsense that society has given us, you know, we will see people differently and we will treat people differently. You understand?
Wave, earlier, I have to watch back your live because I don't remember what you said, but earlier I made a comment about these people who feel this way today were raised by people who were traumatized. And
Yes,
what I
yes, yes. You did state that.
Yeah, and I don't remember what you said because I was away from the phone. I couldn't hear well. But, you know, me saying that was saying that, these are broken people raising
Yeah,
broken people. And, you raise people to think, oh, when you see a a Caucasian person walk in your way, you cross the other street. When you see this, you make sure you do that. When you're in public, you make sure that you don't act like this and you carry yourself like that. You know, they're raised from people who are traumatized or who had experiences maybe that happened to them or their parents instilled that in them and they think that
but
they need
that is what I've been trying. I was saying that it is a cycle, and it's a cycle that has to be broken. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because if you're my daughter and I told you that you're fat all your life, You know how broken you're going to be?
I don't mean to laugh, but like, why would you use that example?
No, I'm just saying. I don't mean to be
No, I know that,
insensitive,
but
but
it's true.
because
You're gonna always
trust
believe
me,
that. You're gonna
but
believe that, and the other
you're
people will
gonna
start to believe
believe
it.
that, and then your daughter is gonna come, and it's gonna be repeated and repeated and repeated
It's
until
true.
someone says, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to uplift
Embrace
ourselves.
yourself.
Yes, we're going to love ourselves. You understand? You're going to accept yourself and everything like that. And it all starts with the individual. When it starts with the individual, then it trickles down to your family, and then it trickles down to your community. Want to say good morning to Eyes Love to Talk. That is one of the names on YouTube I love saying. I just love her
What
name.
what name? Oh, eyes love to
Eyes
talk.
Love to Talk. Yeah, I love it. It's unique. Good morning, love to travel. How is everybody doing in the chat? How are you doing on the panel? We're doing great. Yes. So we have to break those cycles. So when you see those, like I said, working in retail, one of the things that I try to reverse, and that's good customer service, whether it's my people or any other person. I use that as a tool to kind of change things, because too many times I hear people say, well, black people don't get good customer service. you know People treat them a certain way. So me being who I am, that's one of the things, I try to do. I try to make sure that I give everybody good service, so that nobody feels like, they're being cheated off, or they're being abused, or, they're not getting great customer service. So in your profession, that is a tool that you can use to break that cycle. Giving our people great customer service. I know sometimes our people can be very difficult. I had a gentleman yesterday. He was 70 something years old. He's in his ways. He doesn't want to hear from me. I'm a woman, I'm a black woman. He doesn't want to hear a single advice from me. He's putting down some floors. I'm like, look here, buddy, you need to use this, because he's telling me that he wants the floor to stick, it wants it to hold it down. I'm giving him the product that he needs for his floor. He actually just like diss me, like, I don't want to hear from you, you're a woman, kind of thing, because that's how he grew up. Because at that point in his life, women were like maybe second class citizens.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Did I take it personal? No. I was like, okay, sir, if you want to use that, fine, go right ahead. But this is the same person that will come back 3 weeks later and tell me, hey, man, I put on those floors. I should have listened to you. You know, even though my coworker, who is a male, told him, man, she knows what she's talking about, he didn't want to listen. And the man who hired him to do the job was like, come over here, young lady. And we talking, he said, man, bro, just hard headed. You know what I'm saying? So people are set in their ways, because they have, these are things that have been passed to them generation to generation, and they don't want to change a single thing. They don't want to grow. It's okay to have that foundation, but you need to grow on that foundation. You need to build on
Mhm.
that foundation. You need to improve on it. It's almost like, I've seen this, just working in retail in home improvement. And I have a lot of black customers, which I love and it dearly and everything like that. But we don't want to invest too much in our homes. It's like we buy a house, and then we don't want to put nothing new in the house. We don't want to improve on our kitchen. We don't want to do anything. But we need to understand that the house is an investment. You want your money to grow, you know? The roof is rotten in, the doors are falling apart, everything is falling apart, but you don't want to spend that money, you know. Yeah. Synovia says when you go looking for trouble, trouble will come your way. Yes, Synovia. Yes. Synovia is saying hi to SA. Angela Precious World, good morning to you. Yes, good morning. What is SA saying here? Let's show you the evening of my village. See the hustle bustle in my place. I actually watched your video, SA. Um, I saw the one with the hamburger. Very interesting. You guys put cabbage on your hamburgers and some spicy sauce. I saw that. Everybody should be treated equally. Yes. In a perfect world, yes. Yes. And SA says, I feel that we're being treated as secondary citizens who are down in the stream. Oh, let us. Shawnee, you here?
I
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah. I don't know. I show SA and I show him so much love. SA wants all my love. I have to spread my love, SA. I got so much other people here. We have to spread the love. But like I said, these are things that are unwritten, and I found this article, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. And Shawnee, as always, it's always a pleasure having you here. I know you have a full work day ahead of you today.
Girl, I was about to ask you, can I call you on after this?
Well, okay. Oh, hello.
Girl, I work
Sidebar.
from home. Don't worry about me, okay?
Oh, girl. Yes, House of X. Yes, my peoples.
I was like, as soon as she end, I'm gonna try to bring her on
Oh, Lord.
Instagram.
My mom already came in. She said, are you doing the lawn? I'm like, lady, you need to go hire somebody. No, but I am going to do the lawn, and also I'm going to the post office because my mom bought a dress and from Amazon, and this guy was giving us such a hard time to return it. We
Oh
got
wow.
it, and what happened is we bought a size 14, but to me, the size 14 is too small.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a down, like maybe it fits like a 12. Yeah, it's a little too tight. So I was like, okay, we need to return it. He's like, okay, we're going to give you $20 for it, and then you have to pay the postage. So if you're giving me a $20 refund, right? And the cost of the dress is like maybe about 80 something dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who's losing? Me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm getting $20 back. I'm paying for the postage, and then you're getting back the dress. So what am I getting? Nothing.
Right.
I don't know how people do you know SA says God has created me to spread love and happiness on the faces of people. Absolutely. SA, because when I was growing up I used to tell my mother, God says I need to love everybody. That was my little thing. Anytime you say, Wave, um how come you love everybody? Because God said so. And that was my whole thing. I love love. I love feeling love. And I love to be in love with people. Yes, I do. Yeah. So, guys, I am going to cut it short. We've been on here for like an hour and 21 minutes. I only wanted to come on an hour, but this was such a great, great show this morning. And,
He always says 1 hour and then it's three
yeah,
hours.
yes, 3 hours. Yes, 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 yes. So today's article, that was written, it was on unwritten rules people of color follow that most white people don't have to worry about. So we did 10 of them. Hopefully we can do another like maybe 11. We'll have a part two on this. Hopefully, um, my friend here, Shawnee,
Mm-hmm.
Party of One, will be here. Guys, tell me what you think about her name because we love it. It's like, she's going to have her new channel and it's going to be called Shawnee what party of one? Shawnee party of one. Shawnee party of one. Shawnee party of one. Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you to Yo, it's your boy Leo. If you haven't connected with him, please go on his channel, D33 and Network and Entertainment. Thank you so much. These, yes, good vibes. Always great vibes on her channel, of course. Yes, and we had, oh, Shawnee, you were talking up a storm this morning. You go, girl. And
Girl, listen.
and Zenobia, always my best moderator here. She is so cool, man. Can't wait to meet with her. And House of X Entertainment. If you haven't picked up House of X Entertainment, please do so. Steve Gilmore, I've been on his channel having some fun on there. Yes, be the difference. Clothing joy. Excellent motivator, inspirational speaker. Let me tell you, her channel is dope. Yes, I love it. Sheed, truck driver. Love him too. SA, as always, I've got to give him a little extra love. Yes, we got to give SA a little extra, extra, extra love in the morning. And Shy, hello. You're just getting here. Oh my God. Happy Thursday, guys. I'm going to throw back also a video. Every Thursday I throw back, one of my YT videos. You can go over and watch it. You'll learn a lot about me in the Virgin Islands. Yes. Say yes, God created you to spread love and happiness. And we're going to end it on that note. Go out there, love someone, show some love. Yes, show some love in the chat to everyone. Connect with everyone. Make sure you go there and become a subby on everyone's channel, because everyone that comes across here, they have great content. You can learn something, you can have some fun, you can play games, you can get inspired and all of that. Yeah, so it's pretty cool peeps on Love to Travel with Wave. Like I always say, guys, without you, there is no channel. And we're going to say what? What are we going to say, Shawnee? We're going to say bye bye. Later, Shawnee.
Bye, Wave. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not paying attention. All right, guys, later.